Very good morning, students. Today we are going to learn a memory poem on killing a tree by GIEVE Patel from Unit 3. It was written by GIEVE Patel. You can see the image of GIEVE Patel. He is an Indian poet, playwright, painter, as well as doctor in Mumbai. Patel belongs to a group of writers who have subscribed themselves to the green movement, which is involved in the effort to protect the environment. His poems speak of deep concerns for nature and expose man's cruelty to it. Patel's works include poems How Do You Withstand, Body, Mirroring. He has been also written 3 plays titled Princess, Savaska, Mr. Behram. The poem is taken from his poetry collections, Poems, published in 1966. The title, On Killing a Tree. We are not going to kill a tree here, we are going to cut a tree. But here, he personified the title, the tree, killing. He personified the word tree. So here, on killing, usually we use the word killing to man. But here, the poet used the word for tree. What is a tree? Tree is our best friend. It makes our environment green. It gives us fruits. It gives us vegetables. So it's our best friend. It gives us shadow in summer. Birds make nest on the tree. It gives us oxygen. Trees bring rain. Tree makes the air fresh. It also gives shelter and shade for animals. What are the importance of trees? Why trees are important for our survival? We have to know why trees are important for our survival. It provides medicine, it gives you fruit, it removes carbon dioxide from our surrounding, reduce soil erosion, add oxygen, prevent floods and cool our houses. So each and every one of us have to plant a tree and save our environment. Let us move on to the poem. The first stanza of the poem. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of a leprous hide sprouting leaves. It takes much time to kill a tree. It is not easy to pull out a tree from the earth. It takes time to cut down the tree. To kill a tree means cut down the tree. Not a simple jab of knife, not a single cut or single rough blow can cut the tree. Single blow is not at all enough. So he is telling that not a single jab of the knife. It is very hard to cut trees. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth. It has grown for years, consuming the earth's wealth. It takes water, it takes sunlight from the sun. So it takes time, it takes years to grow. Rising out of it, feeding upon its crust. Crust means the hard outer portion of the surface. So it is not easy. It grown for years when it come out from the earth's surface. So upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air and water. It's not an easy thing. It takes years and years to come out from the earth, and it takes years to grow from a big tree. It takes years of sunlight, air and water. It come out from the outer layer of the earth crust. It takes hard to come out from the earth. So it is not easy to cut a tree within a fraction of second. And out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves. Leprous means covered with scales. You can see the leprosy people, the skin is covered by some scales. So here the tree is also covered by some outer scale, some color, discolored bark, some darkened the rough part of the skin we can see in the tree, and sprouting leaves. The root part, the stem part, you can see the leprous thing and the sprouting leaves in the tree. So I am reading the first stanza again because it is a memory poem. The first two stanza is a memory poem. So I am reading the first stanza again. You can learn along with me. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves. Let us move on to the second stanza. So hack can chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it, the bleeding bark will heal. And from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. So hack can chop. Hack means rough, chop means cut off. So simply rough cut is not enough to cut a tree. But this alone won't do it. Simply hack and chop won't easy to cut the trees. Not so much pain will do it. It's not an easy thing. It needs some pain to cut a tree. The bleeding bark will heal. When we cut a tree, we can see the bleeding. Some type of filament will come out from the tree. So the barks will bleed. It takes time to heal. So it is not easy to cut. It is not a simple thing to cut because even trees will bleed. From close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. If you cut down the tree, after few days you can see the green twigs. The smooth, slender, woody will shoot out from the cut out branches. Miniature boughs, a very small kind of tree will come out from that cut down trees. When if unchecked will expand again to form a size. If you unnotice that, it will expand into a very big tree. So a simple hack and chop is not alone to cut a tree. It takes much pain to cut a tree. When you cut down the tree, you can see a bleeding from the barks. If you see after a few minutes, you can see the small twigs, small branches will come out from the tree. A miniature tree will come out. If you notice that, you can see a big tree within few years. Let us move on to the poetic device in this poem. Take down in your textbook, take a pencil and mark those lines and learn for the figure of speech. The first one, rhyme scheme. There is no rhyme scheme in the poem. It was written in free verse, no rhyme or no rhythm. He write down what he think in his mind. So there is no rhyme scheme in the poem. The first rhyme scheme, to kill a tree. While teaching itself, I told you that tree is compared to human being. So it is personified. Tree is personified. To cut down a tree, we have to tell that it is to cut down a tree, to cut a tree. But here, the poet used a word kill. He personified that word. So underline the word to kill a tree and write personification. The next one, enjambment. Enjambment is nothing but, it's a free verse. I told you that no rhythm or no rhyme. It's a free verse. The poet does not use any punctuation mark. Without any kind of punctuation at the end, we use it as enjambment. You can see the bold words, knife, there is no punctuation after that. Grown, there is no punctuation after that. Feeding, observing, height, there is no punctuation after that. So you can underline those words and you can mark that it is enjambment. The next one, first stanza, last before line, leprous hide. He used the word he used the figure of speech metaphor. He doesn't use as or like here. He is comparing the tree with leprous thing. So here it is metaphor. We have already learned that metaphor is nothing but implied simile. Comparing two things but we are not using as or like to this line. The next stanza, second stanza, fourth line, underline bleeding bark. Here, the tree is compared to bleeding bark. Here also, word the as and like is missing. So it is implied simile. So it is personification. The next one, second stanza, fourth line, you can see alliteration. B, the repetition of consonant sound in a single line. The repetition of consonant sound in a single line. So here, you can see bleeding bark. B is repeated. So underline these words. The next, the same enjambment. There is no punctuation in a line. We call that as enjambment. Thank you, students. Today's homework, you have to memorize the first two stanzas of the poem. Thank you.